Just chilling out, listening to some music on my new stereo system. It's very exciting to actually have some reason to sit and listen to music, although I'm not completely satisfied with the quality of the digital. I might have mentioned that previously, but I can't remember. I have the Bible before me. I'm not reading it at the moment, but it's on its lectern. I've actually got into trouble for my reliance on the King James Bible in a King James Bible church. Firstly, because of my suggestion that the Bible might be accurate in its descriptions of the world, and it would be good to consider such a matter. And I was told that there were older Bibles, presumably of a Catholic origin, that supported the heliocentric model, and that I was surprised to hear that coming from a supposed dyed-in-the-wool King James man, but so it was. And then on a later occasion I prayed, and in my prayer I prayed that the Bible be returned to the churches throughout the land and into the homes of all the people. And that's as I remember, that was the essence of the prayer, the part that was criticized. And after I had been told that it was very unusual to criticize a man's prayers, but apparently that did merit a mention, to say that it wasn't, the Bible wasn't our reliance was Jesus Christ, and this, we must remember it. And I did accede to that at the time. I mean, I thought it was a reasonable comment, but on reflection, you see, the Bible is the Word, and so really it is Jesus Christ in a manner of speaking. You see, people say very often that they believe the Bible, but I mean, do we actually really believe it? If the Bible is actually true, and it can't have any mistakes or extra words, every number is right, every number of letters is right, and I see it as having I hesitate to call it magical, because that would place me in a sort of a realm of great suspicion, I'm sure. But to have some kind of, well, a spiritual power, shall we say, that's actually woven into the very words. And so speaking them invokes some kind of spiritual energy, or can do. I don't know whether it's automatic. I suppose it depends also on the spirit with which they are spoken, because sometimes those words can be spoken in divisive spirits or angry spirits, I suppose. Well, perhaps anger can be justified from time to time. But it's best to be avoided, I do think. So really, to me, because if we don't have if we don't have a Bible, you see, we have no the whole we've got nothing, have we? It's only through the Bible that we know the things that we know when it comes down to it. The trouble is that the adversary controls the entire narrative on earth, and all narratives are his, except one. That's how important it is. It's absolutely central. But people have been dissuaded from approaching it because of the careful action of the church, which has actually been a, what do they call those things? A shill. A counter-agent, as it were, all along, probably since the first century. I mean, we already see some conflict in Paul's epistles. That would have just amplified, you know what people are like, especially when they get in an important position. It's very hard, I think, to be elevated in society without it going to your head. Must be very difficult. It's a very common failing. But I'm sure that if it were accompanied by the hand of Christ, it can be achieved, because, of course, I believe that there can be a righteous king. It might be a romantic idea, but I can't see why there shouldn't be. A righteous king, an honorable king. And, of course, he is greatly elevated. But it's God who has to elevate a man ultimately. The king has to be anointed. And in the Bible, it was Samuel that anointed both Saul and David. And Samuel was a great seer, a great prophet. And this I learned in the church, that, and I have since checked it, of course, that Saul was anointed from an earthen pitcher, an earthen jug, a jar, while David was anointed from a horn. And a horn is holier, of course, because it's a godly vessel. It's made by God. Those things are, I think, are important. It shows us, I suppose, that it teaches our respect of our Creator, because we can fashion things with our hands and they are wonderful. But if we pause to look around us, we are surrounded by such breathtaking majesty in every plant, in every blade of grass. It's just mind-blowing. God bless everybody tonight then.